you're going to like it.
Yeah.
It'll be awful if you don't. What we're going for first?
Maybe we should taste off each other's.
All right, okay. I'm good for that. How did you find working with Marco? So normal chicken breasts, no bone, just straight out, skin on or skin off, whichever you prefer?
Yep. In fact, strangely, in the recipe, it asks for no skin. And then in the instructions, she says, put the chicken down skin side first. Okay. Just put a couple of these on, that's all we're going to need.
I find that people with a grill pan or even a frying pan, you just leave them.
Yeah.
You want that caramelisation to get on each side, because when it's nice and caramelised, it will release itself from the pan. Fish, meat, always the same. So just leave it, let it just grill.
By the time it gets stuck.
Because sometimes just leave it. Sometimes it may stick depending on the marinade or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But just try and leave it as long as possible and then flip it over. Because the breasts are quite thick, then would you then put those on a tray and finish them in the oven, or would you just keep it on? I suppose with this as well, you could do it on the barbecue, couldn't you?
Yeah, you could do, yeah.
It'd be great on the barbecue.
Yeah, it's primarily like that, I think that's the idea. Well, they love a lot of charcoal and stuff.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember, I still remember the name of this chicken dish. You know, it'd be when we finish today.
Yeah, it's
I'll
not
be driving home.
cacciatore, that's the hunter's
but it's
chicken, isn't it?
You bat it out and then you marinate it with garlic, olive oil, lemon zest and oregano, very thin. And you literally turn it over like that and you'd serve it with something like rocket and roasted tomatoes and olives.
Yes.
And I can't remember the bloody name of the dish.
No.
As you get older, you see.
Yeah. Oh, you wait.
You've got a few years on me yet.
Yeah.
So you can see with mine here, it's caramelising now. So I'm going to take that down quite a bit further, and then I want to add the rest of it. Because also the pineapples that I've got here that I took out, a lot of juice will extract from those as well, so it'll add more liquid to that as well.
Yeah.
And then all you do with that is you set it aside, you can put it in the fridge and then just warm it. Warm it through the microwave, warm it in a pan on the stove.
It brings out this slightly orangey hue, you know, because of the spices and the orange juice. Oh, and I forgot to mention I put a bit of tequila in there as well.
Oh, tequila!
Of course.
Of course you do.
New kitchen, see, that's the thing, isn't it?
Yeah. When you're always cooking in someone else's kitchen. Yeah, absolutely. I'd actually like to have an Argo, but also a gas stove on the other side or an induction.
Yeah, because the thing is, we did it once where we did a big evening. In fact, we had an invited chef come round and do some stuff at our house. He'd never really cooked on an Argo. And so that thing is, if we'd have known the amount of heat loss from the amount of things that were going around here, and everything started to drop in temperature. And then someone told us afterwards, because we didn't know, if you're going to do that much, you've got to pump it up a bit.
Absolutely.
So 2-3 hours before they come round.
And sometimes closing. I've done some private dinners. You know, we've done a couple of charity dinners together. I've done some other ones. And I remember the first time we did this house with an Argo cooker. I mean, we were panicking at the end, even though I always leave myself a lot of time to get there and get organised. But we weren't prepared for it. Yeah. Anyway, we did a dinner a year later at the same house, and we were so all over it with the amount of prep that we did that time. So it was great. Yeah. If it's bar marked enough on the other side, turn it over, put them on there. We'll get them in the oven, and I'll work out which.
Yeah. Good. So that goes in.
Straight in the oven. Yeah.
Yeah, the top one.
Yeah. Right. Now you can do the vegetables.
Yeah, a bit more of a sizzle on there then.
Yeah.
I'll get as many as possible in.
So on here you've got your aubergine, courgette, your red pepper, your spring onion, garlic, olive oil and balsamic, and salt.
That's it.
And pepper.
Yeah, it's almost like a salad dressing.
Yeah, it is.
But then you finish it off on the grill.
Nice. Right, so my pineapple's done. I'm going to take it off and just sit that.
So that just cools down, yeah?
So so the idea with this is it will cool down. You need to serve it at least warm to hot, and when you put it over the chilled rice pudding, you've got this hot cold, and obviously it naturally cools because of the cold rice pudding, but the flavours will work perfectly. Well, hopefully you're going to like it.
Yeah.
It'll be awful if you don't.
Well, it is rice.
Yeah. Is it rice pudding? So you eat other rice, obviously.
Yeah.
So is it rice pudding?
It's,
you just
yeah, it's like savoury rice. Maybe I couldn't get my head around it when I was younger. I have had it in great establishments, and it's a different ball game. But it's still not something I'd pick if it was on the menu.
I've had it on the menu. I've not actually. I have had it on a UK menu a couple of times, but it became a signature dish actually because it became quite popular.
And don't forget, it was rice and jam. That's all it was. When you've got something like this with it,
it's a posh rice pudding. Yeah, absolutely. So with your rice here, so it just come up to boil. I'm just putting it on the low thing. I put a plate over the top so it creates a steam.
Yep.
Now, someone once taught me the greatest way to understand how to cook rice to things, equivalent. So it depends whether you're male or female, of a thumbnail, of a male nail, of water above the rice. When you put it in, should be enough, but once you've cooked it, there should be no water left and it's nice and fluffy. Yeah. That's my rule of thumb. Really nice. Could almost be a chef. So, talking of being a chef.
Yes.
So, Hell's Kitchen.
Oh yeah, I did. Yeah.
What on earth made you do that? You've always been a foodie, I know that.
Yeah.
And where all of a sudden in Hell's Kitchen? Because you wouldn't have struck me as the person to want to do reality television.
No, but I always said to myself, although I went back on it a bit later, was I don't want to do something where the main idea is to make you look stupid. But when it came to Hell's Kitchen, I thought, hell, I'm going to learn something if I go in Hell's Kitchen, you know. And I did. I learned a lot of things.
Do you enjoy it?
In a funny way, yeah. I mean, everything is pitted against you. You know, you're cut off from family and friends. You don't get much sleep. I'm sure.
That's not
all right. Yeah. I'm sure that it's hard in kitchens anyway. But then they do get to go home at night, and we didn't. So there's that little thing that goes on that plays with your heartstrings. You get sleepless, you get emotional, and that's what the whole show's about. But I thought, but if I come out of it with a set of skills, that's great. You know, my chopping skills were fantastic, but it's like learning a language. If you don't get to use it every day, it starts to disappear. And that's what happens. So I'm back to being quite slow to chop and things like that.
There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, you know, I can chop at 100 miles an hour, but that's just experience of many years in the kitchen. When I first started out, I was like everybody else. How did you find working with Marco?
Marco was great, and also I made a decision in my own head that I know Marcus was known as the enfant terrible of the cooking world, but I'd known he'd been doing it for a long time. I'd met him out socially a couple of times, and I thought, he's not exactly a pussycat, but he's certainly not what he was, you know. So
not back in his day. You know, I worked with him in the heyday, and you know, there are many stories of how he was, but you know, I sit that up there as one of my life experiences in the kitchen. Yeah. You know, even to this day, there are recipes and sauce recipes that I still use that are from his day. Yeah. That he taught me. Yeah. Because they're great and I wouldn't change them. So I've done the prawns, nice and chilled. Normally better if you do them the day before, like all spiced stuff. So just stir them around. Get all of that, the sauce and the moisture out there as well. Give it a really good mix. Okay. Now, coriander, you can pick the leaves and you can have them individually. I'm just going to literally, in the posh terms, we call it a chiffonade, but just finely chop coriander, the leaves. So about a handful, like that. I'm going to put that in there like so. And then again, mix all of this in.
Lovely.
Do you like coriander?
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, multiple people I've met who say, oh, I hate coriander. And I think it's because they've been to an Asian restaurant and they get such a handful of coriander that sits sometimes and they eat it first. Yeah. And it is quite potent like that. But when you have it mixed properly, it's really nice. So that just sits like so. Okay. Now.
Adds a lovely amount of colour to it.
Yes, it is. Yeah. So, this is a coriander and chilli chutney. So, coriander leaves, garlic, ginger, cumin, green chilli, olive oil.
Wow.
Okay, so just take a little bit of this. I've made it day before,
Yeah.
nice and dark, so it's known as a coriander chutney. So a little bit of that, just on the base, like so. And then with this, as many prawns as you want to on this, but the idea it sits on the chutney, so when they take a spoonful, they get a little bit of everything. Okay. And then normally, roll your lime like this just to get the juice going.
Yeah.
And then just take what we'll call a lime cheek. Okay. Just sit that on the side.
Oh, that was it, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the last detail,
And just a little bit of sea salt over the top.
which is lovely.
And that would be what it is. And if it was me, I'd just eat them from the bowl. Right, so we're going to dish up your bits as well now. So shall we, come on, what we're going to do is we're going to taste everything. So you dish yours, and then the last thing I want to dish is the rice pudding. Okay, Paul, so right, your chicken dish. So you've got your vegetables, your chicken, your rice.
Yep, and then we've got the sweet potato pecan pie at the end.
Oh, well, we'll cut that up at the end. So plate your chicken.
Yep, I've done some saffron rice.
Yeah. If people can't get saffron, they could just do a normal, like, pilau rice.
Yeah, I guess I could do a pilau rice, yeah. I don't think it matters that much, really. Then I would get one piece of chicken.
Yeah.
There, and then these, I'd maybe have put these on a paper towel, really, before I did these. Do you think? Are they a bit
Well, I don't know, because you've created like a dressing, isn't it? So all that flavour's in there.
Yeah.
So I think with the chicken and rice, it'll absorb it. So I think it'll be perfect.
Okay.
Nice colours.
So that's that, yeah.
Really nice colours. So that's your chicken.
Yep.
Perfect. So we'll have that here. Okay. Now, the pecan pie. Should we move these? This looks really good. Not that I'm surprised.
Yeah, it's come out very well.
I'm sounding surprised, but okay. So normally what we would do with a pie, you leave the crust on like this.
Yep.
Okay. Serrated knife and an angle. It is a bit messy.
Put that bin there like that.
Yeah. And now to cut it.
Ah, yes.
So
We need something like this, but not so long.
Or
That?
so yeah.
Once again, this is best on a plate, I think.
Yes.
God, that's a big old piece. Very nice. Yep.
Nice colours.
Yeah.
Really nice colours.
It's lovely.
I have to do 2 bowls of this because somebody's waiting in the wings for a bowl. So
Oh, it looks like
it is
clotted cream.
Yeah. So pudding rice, short grain pudding. It's the northern coming out there. Short grain pudding rice with 100 grams of rice to 1 litre of milk and cream.
Right.
Full cream milk.
Yeah.
Double cream, half a litre of each.
This is not going to taste like the rice pudding from school.
No. 75 grams of caster sugar, 2 vanilla pods, and then you let it cook nice and slowly until it's nice and thick. Leave it overnight, let it chill, it goes really thick. Then you add another 300 mils of double cream just to kick it up a little bit more. And then you get this just really lovely texture like this.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, how much you serve is entirely up to how much the guests actually want to. But remember, there's always seconds. Right, so like that.
Yeah, that's a completely different consistency.
Yes. A spoon. Okay, and now for the pineapple. So take the pineapple, just drain off a little bit of the liquid.
Yep.
Like that. And then like that. the same again. What you can do, if you want, just a little bit of garnish, either that or a little bit of the cinnamon stick.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Very nice. Well done, Barry. Well, the difference with the school.
It's a different spec, isn't it? Completely.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a posh rice pudding. I mean,
Yeah.
I actually can't even remember. I don't even know what they made school rice pudding from.
No, what you mean?
Well,
what
rice.
type of rice? Yeah. But
Well, I think they'd have probably
because
used pudding rice, but I don't think they'd have gone to the levels of full cream milk,
No.
Madagascar,
And
vanilla,
also,
and
it seems to
double cream.
You've soaked up so much more.
Yeah, yeah,
And
absolutely.
put so much more in.
Yeah, yeah, no.
Because you can still see the little grains
Yeah.
in the one
Oh,
at
you
school.
could, can you?
Yeah.
I mean, this when you eat it, hopefully, touch wood, you're going to love it.
Yeah. Same goes for the pecans.
Yeah, no, well, yeah. So we're both on the play on this
Yeah.
one, aren't we?
Yeah.
Right, should we taste?
Okay.
Right, so 1 fork for you, 1 fork for me.
All right.
I need a knife. Taste your chicken. You want to taste the prawns?
Yep. I'm going to taste
So
this.
yeah, squeeze the lime over.
Lively. Lovely.
Do you like it?
Instantly taste of India. To get a little bit more of that on the next one. I'll see what you mean about it cold as well.
And tomorrow they'll taste better because they've had time.
And was that served as a starter?
Yeah. It was actually served as like a little snack, so you know, almost like the small plates you'd have nowadays, tapas style, for want of a better word.
Yeah.
Tapas style's used so often, and it frustrates me slightly because tapas is Spain.
Yeah.
Now they use it for everything that's on a
Yeah.
small plate.
Yeah.
But okay.
Well, the chicken's done nicely.
Yeah, that marinade.
Yeah.
That marinade is really lovely.
It's a lovely marinade. Yeah. I think chicken needs a lot of coaxing anyway. That's why they're so good with marinades.
And it retains the moisture as well, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I'm a rice fan.
Because I'm inquisitive just to see if it's coming through.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I can change those spices. Or,
Now for me, grilled vegetables like this.
yeah. I just could have done with a bit more salt and pepper on the
Yeah.
top.
I mean, it's all to personal taste, isn't it, at the end of the day? Yeah, but maybe a little bit more salt. I wouldn't even put pepper, I'd just put a little bit more salt on, but that's delicious. I love that chicken. I'll get that recipe for that marinade from you.
Yeah, yes.
Right,
Okay.
what we're going for first?
Maybe we should taste off each other's.
All right, okay, I'm good for that.
Here we go.
So a bit of cream over.
I would have done chantilly cream.
Okay, but just some cream over the top.
Yeah, just to offset a bit, I think. Because it's probably quite sweet. But like I say, nowhere was as sweet as the first time I tried it.
Right, excuse my fingers.
Nothing like school rice pudding.
Is that served as a savoury or as a dessert, normally? Dessert?
Yeah.
You wouldn't put that as a dessert in your head, but I think that's really lovely.
Yeah.
It's interesting because of cinnamon and like those flavours, because
Yeah.
you've got that in there.
They're in the
Yeah.
they're actually both.
With the sweet potato, that works really well.
I could get to the end of that easily.
Carry on.
Easily.
I haven't tasted this for a while.
The pineapple is really.
It is now.
Yeah. Oh.
Wow. Oh, there we go. I do.
Yeah. It's weird with the sweet potato, which most people would have as a savoury.
And even not being a fan of nuts in my food, I'd go with that.
I think it offsets the sweetness of everything else.
It's more of a texture. Because it's cooked on the top, it's kind of the crispy as well, isn't it? Almost caramelised. Yeah, I love that.
Good.
Right.
I'm just going to try this. This looks very dark.
I know, but it's nice.
Compared to...
Do you know what might be the difference?
Make it with corn syrup.
Yeah, corn syrup, and
Just
also
to see.
maybe you've used brown sugar before. We've got muscovado sugar in this, so it's darker and richer.
Yeah, it's sweet as usual.
You like it though. And I get what you're saying about the chantilly cream as well.
It'll be nice and white and fluffy on the top. Gorgeous.
Now we've got to clean up. That's always a thing. There's no kitchen porter today, mate. It's me and you.